Hello everyone, how's it going? How's it going? Hello. Hello Artsky, hello Arrol, hey Kenyoshi, hey CC, yo cute thingies, Astra, Theon, Brass, any lurkers that might be out there as well, thanks for being with us. We are gonna do something a little different. We're doing Wii Play Motion today. A little bit of a D-Rust slash marathon submission of video, which is the only way I'm gonna get myself back into shape with this game, because I need to do that. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, let me change the split layout. Yo. So, what we're doing is we're literally just going to do a Wii Play Motion run. We're going to do a single run. I'm going to hope I haven't lost it in Skip Skimmer. And yeah, this will basically be a good test of what exactly a good marathon estimate is. For me, I think 1:35 will be quite good. Because this game is really consistent, which is really good for speedrun marathons, obviously. But this game is really consistent. Whoa, we got Dolphin. Oh, let's go. I've never played this game before. Let's go. What is this? I've never seen this. I've literally never seen this. Let's go. Anyway, it's a dolphin. Point at it. So-called free thinkers when they see a dolphin and it says point at the dolphin. Anyway. Yeah, that just sounds like this game, doesn't it? Oh, this is the one that already has the plats. I have to change my save file. Anyway. Yeah, so basically we're just going to do a run of this. Okay, so literally, I don't know what happens, but in my life, I seem to just have, like, periods where I think of ththings and then they just randomly, like, pop up. Because I've been mentioning GDQ submissions, and I know they were coming up, but I didn't realize that, like, that they were going to say exactly when they were going to be, like, earlier, or, like, within the last 24 hours. So, that's cool. They are opening in a few days, and there's, like, another week. Or they're closing, like, 2 weeks from today. So, or something like that, I don't know. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to do some marathon submission videos. However, the games I said that we're going to submit to speedrun marathons, I'm not going to submit them all to GDQ. To be perfectly honest, as much as I think Wii Play Motion does deserve to get into some smaller speedrun marathons, I really don't think it's the kind of game that's going to get into GDQ. I would love for it to, but I think for this one, especially considering this is the last GDQ that I can submit to, that I'm 100% sure I can submit to, I think it's honestly best if I just go all in on Wii Play Plats and Wii Play Tanks, especially Tanks. If I just go all in on those. Because, and even then, I've been contemplating just submitting Tanks. Because that is just such a better run for me, like, at the moment. Like, that is probably my best run that ever has a chance of getting into a GDQ, I think. I have done marathon runs of Plats, yes. They have all sat in billiards for like 10 minutes. The good thing is you can ramble on a lot in billiards. You can set the background of the run, and the thing is if you get stuck in billiards for like too long, you can just move on. That's the good thing about Wii Play. You can just play the other games. And there's always that factor of, oh, if there's this really hard game at the end, you'll have everyone sort of hyping it up, and like just like any other speedrun trick, really. Like, it just, people aren't really too concerned in speedrun marathons if as long as it's like fairly reasonable, like it's not ridiculous. Like, my estimate is pretty big. For all the runs we've done so far, it's been 1 hour and 25 and 1 hour and 30. 1 hour and 20 I think we did once, but I still fell underestimate. Because the thing is, I used to allocate a number of minutes for each game, and I used to put billiards at 10 minutes, and I've never met that, apart from like once. But it's it's still difficult because I've got better at the other games. So as much as, like, I could put an hour and 15-minute estimate and still have 10 minutes of that dedicated to billiards, because I can very easily do a 1 hour, 5-minute all plats, no billiards at this point. That's something I can reasonably do most of the time, as long as I don't have a painful tanks and risk game over. So yeah, there's that. But it obviously is scary. I always do worry when I have plats billiards in a marathon. But yeah, the good thing with this game is that obviously you don't have that, because literally nothing should be that bad if you have a strat for skimmer, that is. Other than, like, T to target stage 30. That's the only other thing, really. Or, like, if you fail cone zone or pose me plus too many times. That's literally it. But yeah, I don't actually know whether I'm going to use this as a submission video. I might just submit my PB. We'll see how we go here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think my PB is with Mike. It's not really with commentary, though. It's not very well commentated run. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, it's one of those games where not anyone could just run a plats no reset for a marathon, because you have to have played it for a really long time to be really confident that it's like, right, I can do this in 10 minutes 90% of the time. Like, that takes a lot. Like, it's one thing getting plats runs going, but it's another thing to be that confident, and it takes hours, to be honest. Which is why I feel like that is something that is a merit to it. Like, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see if it gets in. I feel like with GDQ at this point, it's kind of like, I don't know. The only way I can describe it is like how people that, like, do the lottery or something must feel. Like, you get like a buzz of, you're probably not going to get in, but you've still been able to submit something that you're proud of, and you can maybe get in with it. You know, that's how I feel with it at this point. Like, I'm not really that bothered, because I just don't have any expectations with it at this point. But yeah, I mean, it would be amazing to get in, but yeah. I've just deleted the Wii Play save. What am I doing? I've done the wrong one. I deleted RHAP by just instinct. I literally just realised that after I've been rambling for so long. SC8P, that's the one we have to delete for Wii Play Motion. It's alright, I still have my backup, it's all good. This is why you make your backups. So, that's the first time I've deleted it when I'm on the computer side of it, rather than on the console. Wii Play Motion 100% save. No, it's not that one, it's the medal run save. Okay, copy that one. Copy it to the Wii save thing, yes. SC8P. Sorry, that's my accent. Literally, like, several numbers and letters just sound like the same thing. My bad. No, score skip is not in this game, but basically every time you do a run, the medals are tied to the save file rather than the me. So the moment you get a medal, you have to reset your save data. Like, that's always been a thing in this game. That's why we're not too bothered about needing an SD card for score skip in Wii Play, because you literally need it for this. I've gone on and I haven't even put the save data on the... What are you doing? This is all going very well. I'm going to be right back. I'll be like 10 seconds. Alright, I am back. Let's actually put this on here. Such energy from the stream today. Yeah, I'm trying to be sort of more upbeat. I don't know. It's been a pretty okay day, but I've been thinking of more ideas. I've got more ideas in my head for things that are coming up. One of them involves no fish. I'm not spoiling anything, but yeah, I have a big thing that I thought of today that will be a really silly idea. And I kind of want to share it, but I need to wait till closer to the marathon, which is next Saturday, by the way. Good segue. Next Saturday and Sunday, we are doing the No Fish 2024. That is in 2 parts. First part is the Wii Series Marathon. Shout out to Channel 734. This is where it's going to be happening. It might be restreamed to Resort Fest as well. Channel 734. Saturday we're doing the Wii Series Marathon. 13 games, all 13. Between lots of different runners in the Wii Series. Currently you have 8 people signed up. Submissions for that closed today. So if you want to run a game in that and you're familiar with Wii Series, you need to submit today, because tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and I'm going to close submissions. So yeah, that's that. And then Sunday there's a 7-hour speedrun marathon, traditional speedrun marathon. We have the schedule already locked. It's going to be going on raising money for Mind, which is really cool. I only know Wii Play, and I guess that's full already. There is one person that has submitted Wii Play. You can always submit as a backup if you're available. You never know. I mean, you could be. You could be able to get in. But yeah, I mean, really, we're going based off of like people's availability, and then we're going based off of whether you've got a capture card or not. And then finally, it's kind of like, how good are you at the game? That is kind of the last variable, though, because honestly, that's not really the main focus of the event. I think you already submitted, Arkski. I think your Discord tag is already in the list, so you should be in. But yeah, unless someone has submitted on your behalf. But I think you're in. Yeah, you submitted for Wii Series Marathon. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, the actual marathon itself has closed. The schedule is locked now. And yeah, that's that. But the Wii Series Marathon, yeah, the submissions for that close tomorrow. Sorry, today. So I'm closing them tomorrow morning. Anyway, let's do a no reset. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Wii Play Motion. Essentially, this is the sequel to Wii Play. This is a tech demo based on the Wii Remote capabilities with motion. That was also a basically perfect swing to start off with, which is fantastic. This is my first time picking up the game for a little while, so I'm very surprised at that. Starting off with one of the harder medals in the game. So this is Skip Skimmer. Takes a lot of getting used to with this one. Basically, you want to swing the Wii Remote. I'm actually doing like a two-handed motion. What we're trying to do is keep it as level as possible, and then we want it to be in the middle of that orange part on the gauge on the right-hand side. There is also an analysis thing, which I find really funny. It shows you like the motion, and there's like sort of a scale of 1 to 100 of how good your throws were. It's quite funny. But yeah, there are 12 games in here, as opposed to the 9 in Wii Play, the original, which was based on pointer, and this is based on motion. So they do feel like very different games, but they still both feel like really fun games for me to run. Also, big distinction between this game and Wii Play is that also me casually having one of my best skip skimmers ever, 170 in 4 stones. That is possibly my best ever. Yeah, so although it's actually technically a little bit slow, you kind of want to have only a few good ones. But that's fine, still getting platinum first try. That is really reassuring. And then moving on to Tita targets. So this is going to be one of the longer ones. The good thing is the cutscenes are pretty short for this one. So what we're going to need to do is get 30 stages completed. And yeah, we get platinum for all 30. That is why platinum, in my opinion, is a really, really good run for this game, because you get to see the whole thing. You get to see some of the really difficult Tita target stages. For example, gold medals, you actually collect 28 out of 30 stages. That's how hard the devs thought the last 2 stages were. And they weren't wrong. They are that hard. So we're going to see how we do here. A lot of these stages have kind of good setups. Because it's very precise motion controls, you can't really do the exact same thing every time. But it is technically a deterministic game, as far as we know. There's never really any randomness in here. There's only one game with a slight bit of RNG, which does contrast Wii Play a little bit. Which has a little bit more RNG in games like Tanks and Find Me. Yeah, the analysis part is so funny. It just gives you the same 2 or 3 lines of help. Like, you're basically just coping in Skip Skimmer until you actually work out a strat yourself. That's all you can do. 1 hour 20 to beat Lucia. That is literally the second time I've ever beaten Lucia. I'm going to do more runs of Resort Be the Champion at some point. Yeah, no special stones. Some of the special stones are actually a little bit slower. That's why we just stick to the normal ones. So here we can do a little strat to try and hit both at the same time. Didn't quite work out. That's all right. We're going to try and pick this one off. Ah, come on. So the controls are a little bit finicky here. There we go. So the controls are a little bit difficult. Essentially, it's really, really fine movements. I'm going to actually hold the Wii remote up for this one just to try and show you what I'm doing. So this one, we're going to do a really big swing and then hit that blue block. Bit of a difficult angle, but again, that's the thing with this stage. Although it's not really consistent with the angle you're going to get, because it is, it's pretty lenient on what you can do to actually complete it there. It's not too bad. Here you can actually get a 3-hit combo. Didn't really need it though. Just losing a little bit of time there. And that's the bronze medal. So in this game, you do collect the medals as you go. And I guess that's a little improvement on Wii Play. Wii Play, you actually only get the medals after you've completed a game. But with this game, because there's a level select on most of the games, it works out quite well. You don't really have that problem a lot of the time. Platinum in Teeth targets as time-based or just clear the 30 levels? I believe it's just clear the 30 levels. Nice combo here. Literally just missing out on 1 target. That is pretty good. You can actually get a 6-hit combo here, believe it or not. Not really very viable to get consistently, but it is really cool. I've literally only ever had it like once. But yeah, I believe the requirements in most of the stage-based levels are literally just complete the game. There are some that have 3 stages, and so for those ones, there is a requirement to get a certain score. Otherwise, you'll only get gold medal. So here's a little bit of a difficult stage to get used to. Nice little backups there, very good. Replay everything from the beginning after getting a medal, exactly, yeah. Yeah, you actually have to play every game once, and only then do you get medals. Which is kind of why one of the skips in that game exists. So, thanks Wii Play devs. Anyway. Yeah, and we Tanks and Table Tennis in Wii Play, you have to play twice. Yeah, this game, you literally just play everything. Some of these, we will have to be replaying some of the games, but we will be playing them in slightly different ways. So we're starting to come up to a few of these harder levels. And this is kind of where 16:9 makes a difference. So most Wii Series games, it doesn't make a huge difference playing on different aspect ratios. Here, it's slightly easier to play on 16:9 because you have a bigger screen size of things that you can see going on. But at the same time, I believe... Wow, first try, really good. Straight in the middle of that target. I believe on levels like this one you've just seen, the sides of the screen are actually smaller. Yeah, really good gold there as well. So if you end up falling off the stage... Ah, that's unfortunate. You can get a 3-hit combo here. Good backup. Yeah, nice. Knew that was going in. Very good. Yeah, so if you're falling off the sides of the level, the ball will actually despawn quicker on 4x3 than on 16:9. But in my opinion, it's still better to play on 16:9, which is a contrast to Wii Play. Base Wii Play, it is actually better to play on 4x3 for speed. Very good stage. Very good. So 4x3 is actually better in Wii Play itself because of games like Tanks, which have a smaller screen, so every mission is slightly faster. But here we get the glorious HD, which is fantastic. I cannot believe we just went round all the targets. So again, you can get a 10-hit combo here. It's not actually that much faster, and it's really hard to get. So I just don't really go for it. And you can kind of sandwich the ball between the targets and wipe out a lot of them very quickly there if you get lucky/good. So here we're just going to try and skip as many things as we can, trying to speed up the ball as much as we can as well. And here I'm just going to do a little jump. Oh, that's not going to work. Do a little jump and then get the ball out, get the target out of the way. Or the teeter, I guess, the seesaw. And the reason for that is because had I have stuck with that, there is a chance that the seesaw would have just bumped the ball and that 5-hit combo wouldn't have worked. That is a fantastic combo. Nice. That was a really good stage. That might even be close to a gold. It's not going to be a gold, but it's a very good split. So I had a very good teeter targets in my PB. And here we're just going to slightly wing it. I can do this level normally, but... Oh, there we go. We did get one of them. It is actually better to just go for that. Most of the time you will just get those fairly quickly. It's nothing that's going to cost the entire run, because if you time out in teeter targets or any of these games, you can just replay them and it's not a huge time loss. And that's why the estimate is a little bit nicer to stick to than in Wii Play. And there we're just trying to bump a few of those targets. I actually prefer to do one from the top rather than both. Doing both from the top from the intended route on the right hand side is really difficult on that level, so I just choose not to. And here's a pretty brutal stage because you can actually fall between the gap in the seesaw and the teeter targets. Sorry, and the targets themselves. Thank you so much for the lurk and the good luck, appreciate it. So yeah, here we're just going to try and wing it again. There you go, nice little bounce there. That was very lucky though. I think that just hit the two bits in the middle and then went to the right, luckily. Very good. Here we're going to try and hit that one. Almost getting the hit. Unlucky. So here I'm going to try and get a low angle just to try and bounce it. There you go. Good backup using that seesaw as well. So there I'm literally doing a motion where I'm keeping the teeter low like that, and then I'm keeping the Wii Remote upside down. That is actually what I'm doing there. Hold on. Really good stage. So basically we just cheese that by going up the right hand side. We got a really good start at the beginning. There is a huge gap in the middle though, so it's very easy to fall out and you have to restart the entire stage. I am going to focus here because this is one of the few points where we are going to need a little bit of concentration to clear stage 30. I'm not expecting too much, considering, again, it's been a little while since I've played this game. We're not going for a PB today. This is just a no reset. But yeah, basically, there is no safety here. The moment you fall off, you have to restart the entire level. But because I'm pretty good at getting early games, and not so good at this part, still okay, but it's very easy to fall off here because the controls are so sensitive. We can actually get attempts in really quickly, which is good. Nice! Really good teeter targets. Wow. That is one of my best teeter targets in PVs. That's really good. Or in runs. It's not a PB yet. There isn't much time save everywhere else. So, again, I do expect some of these upcoming games can be a little difficult. Cone Zone. Here we're going to need 80, which is a pretty difficult platinum. Some of the plats in this game are really hard. Pose Me Plus, I would say, is definitely an impressive one. But basically, we're going for 80 points. So at every 20, we're going to get a huge burst of ice cream that get put onto the cone. And we're just having to balance. So I'm trying to keep my Mii in the middle as much as I can. So here we're going to get a burst of them. And we need to stay on for 3 seconds to start getting more. Good thing is on this, you actually don't need to wait for the countdown. As soon as you hit 80, you can lose and then you are done. You get platinum. There is actually a height limit, so a score limit here. I think it's 120, like 110 or 120. No, it must be 120. And then it says like maximum limit. Like there's nothing else in the game that like points out the maximum limit. But yeah, this is a little finicky to get used to. This used to actually be one of my favorite plats to get as a kid, or decent scores. I don't know whether I ever got plat as a kid, but Yeah, it is pretty difficult though, especially when you're sort of late into a run and you kind of just want to keep your good pace. Getting this first try can be brutal, but we should get it within a few tries, hopefully. So this is where it starts to get really difficult. So I'm going to focus again. So we start to get a lot more of these big scoops. And that should be it. So I'm just going to keep to the left-hand side, and we are going to lose there. Fantastic. First try. Next up is Pose Me Plus. So, yeah, once again, really, really quick platinum there. Favorite one was the space one. Yeah, that is pretty, that is pretty fun. I never enjoyed it too much as a kid because it's so difficult to control. We are going to see that later on. Yo, Professor with the raid. How's it going? We are just doing a commentated run, no reset for marathon submission. Hope you're doing well. I will shout you out when I can. Hope stream went well. Yo, enjoy food as well, cute fangies, and appreciate the good luck. Yes, the tank's victory music is the raid music. That's right. Yeah, so we're moving on to Pose Me Plus. This is basically what I like to call Hole in the Wall. If anyone remembers that game show, I have to throw in a game show reference somewhere. So this game, basically, Pose Me in Wii Play was just about pointing and changing your poses a little bit, based on the ones that are coming up. But here, we actually need to twist the Wii Remote based on the orientation of the pose in the wall. And the timer starts to get less lenient as the stages go on. It's a fairly quick game, so although this could take a few tries, this should be okay, because each attempt is only sort of 2.5 minutes to get to the difficult stage at the end. So we do need 900 points, and I believe that requires Deathless. As soon as you lose a life, you lose 100 points off of the bonus you get at the end. So it is really, really important to keep all of the lives. As soon as you lose a life, it is a restart of the game. So we're just doing this little bonus round as well. Just boost our points a little bit, and then we want to put the remote back down again, point at the screen. So this is where it starts to get a little bit harder. There are only 5 stages here, but you are getting less points based on how quick you, or how close you are to the wall, I guess. And because the timer is less lenient now, it's harder to get these 10 out of 10s. There you go, there's a 7. Still pretty good up to there. But yeah, we start to get more poses as well, and you might be able to see they get a little bit more tricky. And some of these ones we're going to see in Stage 5 as well can be really difficult. A lot of poses come up where you can only do it one way around, whereas the early ones you can actually do it one way or the other. Hey Jules, how's it going? I'm just going to focus for this one. Nice. Very good spot there. Oh, very good spot there as well. And there's one where we can actually do both orientations, and there as well. Beautiful. Beautiful pose, mate. 959. That is possibly... That's got to be a score PB. That's got to be a score PB. And that's the best thing about this. You can actually kind of go for score PBs during the speedrun. There's nothing really stopping you from doing that. I'm actually going to need to switch on my volume here, just to hear that for teeter targets. Teeter targets, spooky search. Teeter targets is just all in my head all the time. So, basically, this game, we're going to need to wave the Wii Remote around to hear the ghosts. You might be able to hear them on the microphone. And whenever we get a hard beep, that is basically when we have a ghost. So I do need to focus to actually hear them. So this game is technically not RNG, because you kind of just play it and then you get the ghosts. But of course, because you can't see them, you're kind of relying on the me advice and stuff. So later on, there are going to be some beeps that aren't actually any ghosts. We're going to hope that we don't get too many of those, though. Or at least we know when those are appearing, anyway. So yeah, this is the only game in the collection where you need to use the Wii Remote speaker. I believe it might be the only thing in Wii series where you need the Wii Remote speaker. There are other Wii games that need it, like Big Brain Academy, I think. But yeah, this is the only one in here that needs it. Very good stage 1. My gold is really good here, so that is a very, very good start. Yeah, honestly, only having 3 stages here is a real shame. So, as I was mentioning earlier on in the run, this is a 3-stage game. We are going to need to do a specific score requirement on stage 3 to skip gold and get platinum. So, here we're actually seeing some that appear. Some appear on the screen. Now, with those ones, we actually need to be pointing at the screen and being aware of those as well when they appear. So you can listen to the me advice as well. They are always correct of where the ghosts are. It's just that sometimes the ghosts are a little bit tricky and they despawn and they move across. Oh, really? There is a thing in Resort that involves the speaker. That's pretty funny. So this is a complete hard beep, so that means that is going to be an obstacle, so we can ignore that. If there are no light beeps, then we know that it's going to be, or if there are light beeps, you know it's a ghost. But if it's just a hard beep, then it's probably going to be, an obstacle, unless you got very lucky and found a ghost straight away. So here, this one will always go towards the middle of the screen, so eventually it will appear on the screen and you can just grab it. We do want to get it before then, though. And then as long as we clear this boss ghost straight away, we should be getting a very easy silver medal. Very nice. Alright, and one final stage. We have stage 3. So stage 3 is going to have a few more ghosts appearing in the middle. There is actually going to be one that tries to steal the machine, so we do need to watch out for that. And then we have a very tricky boss ghost at the end. So there are lots that appear on the screen I need to watch out for when they appear. Here we go. Let's try and get at least 2 of them. There we go. As far as I'm aware, it's not possible to get all 3 in one cycle. So we will have to wait for them to appear again. Oh, almost got that. There we go. So you might have noticed on those on-screen ones, some of the time I actually wasn't moving the cursor at all. I was instantly pressing B to grab them, and then instantly letting go. And that is, as soon as you can do that, when the ghost is just on top of the machine. And here's the one that's going to steal the machine. There we go. And is another mini-boss. So we still have 4 ghosts left. The last one is going to be a really difficult one. Constantly despawning. But as long as we don't have any Miis captured, this should still be a good clear. There is going to be one more ghost in the middle here. And then this is going to be the boss ghost. So this one is only going to give you a few seconds to find it. And then it's going to despawn a few times. So we'll try and get a 1 cycle. It's very hard though. Nice. 3rd cycle's pretty good. So here now, we're just going to try and make sure we keep it. We do need to keep the ghost, otherwise we're going to pretty much have to start finding him all over again. So we don't want that to happen. So the further away is off the screen, the more points you're going to get, and the more of a sort of drag you get as well, which is, we believe, is faster. And that is it. 1634 before the time bonus. That is a really, really nice clear. Definitely going to be getting platinum for that. The cow ghost. Yeah, the Find Me Miis do appear, yeah. So I have all these silly Miis specifically on my system just for games like Find Me in Wii Play. And that is it. That is literally the only reason we have them. But yeah, here's going to be a little bit of an auto-scroller. We are going to be able to save some time here, though. It's kind of like shooting range in regular Wii Play. Here we only need 1,000 points. And this is why Platinum kind of differs a little bit. Because although we're going to be playing all these stages twice, we are going to be saving a little bit of time here for sort of doing the cycles a little bit faster, making sure we actually get the score as soon as possible. But the reason why this is an auto-scroller for this stage specifically is you can't die until the final stage. And at that point, you might as well just kill the boss, because that's faster than dying to the boss. So 1,000 points will then unlock the next stage. You then have the ninja stage and then the dinosaur stage. Dinosaur stage is really janky, so we're hoping we can just clear that pretty quickly. And then here we just want to keep mashing at this point. We already have our 1,000. There's no reason at this point to actually keep playing the game. No, so you can't do 2 controllers. It is a good question, because in Wii Play, base Wii Play, you can play shooting range with 2 controllers, even in 1-player mode. So here we're actually going to hit all but 2 of the Miis, and the reason for that is so that the sort of the straggler UFOs go over to those Miis, just so they are a little easier to hit and skip some of these, skip some time on these cycles. Very good cycle there. And then after this one, we're just going to hit the Miis, because we don't need them anymore. And at this point, the game is pretty much done. Nothing can be sped up or slowed down at this point, but we are going to practice for later, because keeping these combos is going to be pretty important. Platinum is very hard. Platinum is actually going to be 26,000 points. So we want to be keeping pretty much a perfect combo. Some of these obstacles do have extra things in them, though. So we have extra coins, extra birds to get. So we want to be aware of them as well. But yeah, here it's literally just hit all these orange spots on the boss. And then we're done. So that is the first stage. No, so I still think this is unlikely to be a PB, considering this used to be world record until Muro bopped it literally an hour and a half after I got it. I highly doubt this will be a new PB, but this is still a really, really solid run considering I haven't played this game for like a month. I've been focusing more on Wii Play lately, but I am looking to come back to this game and reclaim world record. So here, I do need to focus to try and get these early cycles, because you only need 2,000 points on this stage. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, dropping combo here we'll lose quite a bit of time, but that's okay. No big deal in terms of the estimate. Oh, come on. Keep choking. There we go. So this one is going to come towards us. The gold one is just going to hit us after a while. After we've lost all 3 lives, that will then be the end of the stage. And although we'll have lost fairly quickly, this is actually faster for this because it's much faster than playing the entire ninja stage. But you will still get the medal and you will still unlock the next game, or the next round, which is the dino stage, which is also pretty fast as well. Yeah, again, losing a little bit of time, but really that is no big deal. So moving on to our final stage, that is the dino one. We need 2,500. So the dino hitboxes are tiny. Good thing is, everything is it's kind of like a track shooter game on this one. So we kind of have the dinos appearing at the same times every time on every game. So although the dino hitboxes are very tiny, you can only really hit the middle of their body. Hopefully we'll be able to get past here. So we do have these big dinos coming up as well that will spawn in some coins. And I'm actually going to try and get hit to these dinos and then get the hit on the dinos themselves. And the reason for that is because that will slightly speed up the next part when we try and come to losing our lives in a moment. That is a perfect stage 3. Absolutely perfect. No flaws there. That is the best you can do, because you can't actually die to those ones that run off into the distance. These are the first ones you can die to as far as I'm aware. And that is stage 3. Fantastic stage. So we will be trying to get something similar later on. We're going to be doing all stages. And what this is essentially all 3 stages back to back to back. We need 26,000 points. And you might think, wow, that is very tall, considering combining all 3 of the first ones only gives you 5,500 for the thresholds. And yes, I agree, it's a very difficult platinum. This is actually one of the last ones I got before I started doing platinum medal speedruns. And especially because of how janky and finicky it is to sort of get a hold of the controls in this game, because of it having sort of the 3D motions. We're actually still going to ignore the cans here though, because they only give you 10 points each until you pop them, when they'll give me 100 because I'm on a full combo. So they're really not worth playing, because the effort it takes me to keep my combo and shoot them really slowly, it's just not worth it. Might as well just play more of the dino stage. That's okay. Good. That meant I could be a little bit more risky on the birds there, which is quite good. Because normally I'm taking ages to hit those birds. I'm a little bit desynced on my controller now. That's the only thing with this game. Might as well just mash on the coins here to finish the stage. Very good. Yes, so there are combos. So you get 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And then if you drop a combo, you go back to 10. So it's a very, very minor thing, but it is a huge thing if you're going for platinum. And that's why I'm kind of playing a little bit slower here. There we go. And we are going to keep them easy this time, because they are going to give us a nice, healthy 500 bonus. And again, as I was mentioning the first time, there's no way of speeding it up by popping the balloons faster there. You might as well just pop them at your own leisure, as long as they don't despawn at the top once they fly really high into the sky. And then once I've popped all these UFOs, might as well spam here. Really nice hits, got them all first try. And that is at 10,000. So we only dropped a combo 2 or 3 times, which is pretty good. If you drop a combo, obviously you're losing out on all the times you would have got 100 instead of the 10, 20, 40, 60, 80. So you're losing out on a few hundred points. But again, in terms of actually getting 26,000 consistently for a marathon, you can get a lot more than that. It's just the fact of how much of the dino stage we're going to have to play. The dino boss itself, if you get all the way to the end there, that is going to give you loads of points. It's going to give you thousands. So there's no real issue of, are we going to get this consistently? That is going to happen. But yeah, it's just a case of how quick do we get it. And this does make a really big difference in terms of the speed in a Plats run. And again, this is the only time you'll ever see this in a medal run. Everywhere else, you're not going to see the all stages. You're just going to see those ones where you just have to play for a minute and then leave. So we're trying to keep our combo here. There we go. Very good. No reason for me to lose hearts on these earlier stages as well. We only really want to do that on the Dino one later. Very good. So these start to get a little bit harder to hit. Nice. Ooh, that's alright. One combo drop to this point is pretty good. So we just want to always be centered, just to make my life a little bit easier to get onto the next targets. And again, nice. Actually, not too bad for dropping a combo there, because it means I can play the red ninjas a little bit faster there. They are normally really slow for me to go for, because I want to keep my combo. But if I've already taken a slow one, then I might as well just take my time if I've dropped my combo. Nice. And here we've got a sneaky one in the corner. And we're just going to wait till he gets on the roof now, just to make sure we keep our combo. Nice. And here. Nice. All of them. Really, really difficult to get all of them there. There's so many you have to deal with. So this boss is just going to randomly spawn into a random, like, different position at some point. Here you go. And he's only actually going to fire the bombs when we get close to the boss. Really, really nice there. We do want to get these coins as soon as possible, because the cutscene is very short here. Yeah, and then we're done. So we're just going to wait to skip this cutscene as well. And then we're moving on to the dino stage. So the dino stage now, only just under 4,000 needed, which is a little bit more than we needed before, just for dropping a few combos, but that is not too bad. So I do actually practice dino stage 4,000 points just to make sure I'm down. I've got it down with sort of the strats we need for 4,000 rather than just 2,500. A little bit of a backup strat, I guess. But it's kind of applicable to normal runs. Nice. We're just going to play safe here, just in terms of no resets. Just so we can keep our 2 hearts. Just make sure we get through here. Nice. Oops. Some of these do have coins in as well, these coconuts. Okay, moving on to the next cycle. Okay, so we are going to have to move on to the next stage, which is going to lose us a little bit of time. Some of these aren't actually going to try and hit us. They are just capturing these. And there we go. So we should be done with this here. And we're just going to wait. There is a little bit of invincibility, so we're not going to get hit a bunch of times here. There we go. We do still get 26,000, and we are moving out of Trigger Twist. So that just goes to show just how much time it saves if you can close it out on that first stage of the dino there. But again, just for the no reset, just make sure we get through. Next up is Veggie Garden. So this is a very simple game. It's actually all predetermined except for the last part, which is RNG, which is so mean. We almost had a completely RNG-free game, and then this came along. Again, it's nothing too major. It's just a case of, do we save 40 seconds here or not? So it's pretty big for a PB attempt, but nothing in terms of a marathon. So basically, we are trying to protect the vegetables we got from the moles that are trying to steal them. And this is kind of a game where you're looking at the background to see which moles are coming up. But in reality, we know which ones are coming up all the time because they're always the same cycles. We will see on the boss fight later on, though, exactly how lucky we get in terms of the extra veggies. Because as you can see, these Miis that are bringing along veggies, if we hit those, we're going to lose points. Whereas if we let them bring the veggies, we actually get bonus points rather than needing the extra veggies. So we're kind of netting 50 points from them. We're gaining 30 instead of losing 20 from hitting them. So very good to keep an eye on those Miis. So next up are these moles that are a little bit harder to hit. And we get this mallet as well. The mallet kind of knocks the moles into the trees as well. And we do have that gauge at the bottom. We want to just keep the mallet active for as long as we can. There is a way of actually losing it, but for the most part, if you hit the moles in a certain way, you should keep the mallet for the rest of the stage, as long as you don't hit any Miis by accident. Nice. Very good stage there. So we're moving on to kind of a mini-boss. These are the tall moles. I don't know why these are in the game. This game is so random. It's a completely random game. You can tell they just focused on like Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort when you look at this game. Although this is, to be fair, that's a little bit unfair to this game because it's really well made compared to like, it's a lot more polished compared to like Wii Play. Nice, got a 2 cycle there as well. Very good. So you can get a 2 cycle, saves several seconds actually, in compared to them escaping again and then having to hit them again. And yeah, they just run off. And that is that stage. This one, again, a little bit of focus needed here because this is a little bit harder. There are moles that appear only for a split second. And they give us 5 points. So we really want to be grabbing these wherever we can. Nice. Doing them in the right order there, making sure we do hit the 5 points first because they're harder to hit. Dodging the me that's always in the center. We get so much lag at the end, but that is it. And 2,200 is the requirement for platinum. You get 500 for bronze, 1,000 for silver, 1,500 for gold, and for some reason 2,200 for platinum. If only they put it at 2,000, this game would be so much nicer. Alas. Anyway, this is the boss. Hopefully we don't have to beat him. If we don't have to beat him, we are going to save time. So, essentially, we need to knock back some of these moles. And then once we get the mallet, it is going to start knocking them actually at him. And then that's going to finish off that cycle there. But some of these could end up being, instead of moles, they could end up being vegetables. And if that happens, again, we're going to be getting 30 points for those. So if we just get a few vegetables, then we are going to skip having to beat the boss, which is a really big time save. So I'm just going to focus here, just to give myself the best chance possible. There's one vegetable. There's another one. There's 2. Oh, really close. Unfortunate. So we are going to have to do one of these cycles here. So if we let one of the moles steal a veggie, unfortunately that does mean we're gonna need to get another veggie back to get bonus points. But here we can lose, and that is a pretty good. There we go. Just take that one as well. They keep on putting more veggies down. Stop putting them there. There we go. We're done. All right. So we're going to just have to wait for the mole to move back, unfortunately. But that is it. So a fairly good veggie garden. Yeah, they don't want me to lose, I know. If only they could have done that a little bit earlier. Would have saved a bit more time. But still, really, really good veggie garden. We did get a little bit lucky there. And moving on to Flutterfly. This is one of the worst games in terms of control in the entire game. If you've played this game before, you will know what I mean. You get so many desyncs in this game. The good thing is you're kind of able to adjust based on where exactly the leaf is, and kind of adjust it off your own back. Or what you could do is sync the controller, but we're not going to do that during a speedrun unless we really have to. But basically here what we're doing is we got to play 4 stages. We need a certain score requirement on each one. The first one here is basically free. We're literally just doing a time trial. Later on, though, we are going to need to play a little bit more of the level itself, just to make sure we can actually get the points required. There we go. And here's the desync I'm talking about. So I'm actually holding the Wii Remote in a really weird way now just to make it so that the leaf is completely centered. Hopefully that gets a little bit better in a moment. So the first one here, only 200 points. We then need 400 for the next two, and we need 900 for the final one, which is a pretty difficult one to get. We do have 2 backups for it, but if we lose both the backups, then we will have to restart. But again, no big deal for the estimate. It's just really about a minute or so lost. So here I'm now going to start grabbing a few more points, but not too many. So if you get in the middle of these rings, you're going to be getting more points. And if they're double rings, extra points for that. And these crows are going to try and pop our balloons. The balloons are worth 50 each at the end. I know I skipped past it very quickly, but the balloons are worth 50 each. So later on, we are going to need them just to give us a bit of a backup to reach those 900 points. But for now, it's no big deal if we lose any lives. So you can actually point at the screen to pop the, or to get rid of the crows, just to get them off your back. Again, we're not really too bothered about it at this point because we have a very lenient score requirement. And you have these petals here as well. This is another one of our backups. So if you get all 7 of those, you're going to be on a really good path to getting the 900 points on stage 4. Forgotten about this game's existence, probably for the best. No, that's not the best. Everyone must remember this game. Yeah, so this game did sell a little bit lower than Wii Play. Definitely because of the fact that Wii Play came out bundled with the Wii Remote. And this game did come bundled with the Wii Remote Plus, but that game came out, and in every region except North America, it was a launch title. It was only because in North America the Wii released earlier that it was not a launch title. And here we're just going to go above and then below. And that is actually the strat I use here. That's not just to show you the controller, that's the strat I use. But yeah, with Wii Play, it was a similar sort of pricing thing they did, where they sort of bundled a Wii Remote in with it. But with Wii Play Motion, it came out in, what, 2010? Or 2011 even, so really late into the Wii's life cycle. And they kind of wanted to show off the Wii Motion Plus, but they already did that with Wii Sports Resort, which is an objectively better game. Although this is a really nice game, and I really do love this game. Wii Sports Resort is just a better game. It's more of a game than this is. Although a lot of the minigames in here are a lot more polished, mainly because they sort of outsource them to other devs. There's like 5 or 6 devs that works on this game. In fact, Teeter Targets is the only one Nintendo made. Yes, so you can hit the birds, yes. And I'm just doing that just to be a little bit safer here. Not on my Wii Play Motion. Also, for some reason, there's a UFO on every game. I don't know why. I like to think that Nintendo just put a UFO. Like, to all the devs of each of the games in here, they were just like, put a UFO in. Like, we just want to show off this UFO model we made. Like, they literally put it everywhere. Even in Teeter Targets. We didn't actually see it, but there was an obstacle on stage 30 where if you hit it, it spawns in a UFO until you, if you respawn, you actually have to hit it again to see the UFO. But it makes a really off-putting noise, so I didn't actually get it. So we're just going to play safe here. We're going to go through the middle, grab this balloon, get out of there, and that is our first backup. So by having that, that is going to give us 50 extra points at the end to play with if I lose too many of these pink rings. Now, another thing we are going to need to get is the 70-point petal. It's very hard to get 900 points without that. It is possible, but it is very hard. So we just want to be as safe as possible. I'm just going to recenter here, go into that balloon, and then just play very slowly here, but not too slowly, otherwise we're going to time out, just to get all of these 7 petals. Just go in a straight line through here, and we should be good. Yep, there we go. Absolutely fantastic. And we're just going to cut straight through here, because we are really comfortably getting this now. We're just going to cut straight through. And that is it. Motion UFO percent win. It honestly would be a really funny idea. I think it would be a pretty cool miscategory. I mean, I am a mod now. I should put it to the mods. 962, so as I say, that life was a complete backup. We did clear it by 12 points without that. But that's a really good Flutterfly. Moving on to Treasure Twirl. So I completely forgot we had time save in that. Flutterfly was like the last time save we have in here. That I have off the top of my head. Yeah, literally now we have to play, what? Really close to sub, probably. Oh, no, 124. I guess there's a lot in Star Shuttle that can happen. So basically, Treasure Twirl, what we are going for is you need to grab these coloured chests, and each chest has a specific value. And we need a specific amount of points on each level. I believe one of my splits is going to be wrong here, though. But we should still be fine. We actually got a perfect there. Fantastic. So we get 4,000 points. We move on to the next stage. The last one is really the biggest difficult one, I would say. But I am going to need to focus to try and get an early cycle on one of these. Stage 3, there is a possible early cycle you can get. So I am going to be focusing up for that one. There are some backup safety strats if we need to go for them, though. But I might just go for a single attempt at it just to see if we can grab it. But again, only 4,000 points here. So 4,000 on the next one as well. And it is actually possible to get the next one just with the gold chest. These first two, it's better to grab the bronze as well. But we are going to see if we can get this cycle. We do need to avoid getting hit, though. Nice. Okay, it's not over yet. So there's going to be the tentacles coming after us as well. And that is a fantastic one cycle. I have lost much a PB to this early cycle. So that is fantastic to nail first try. Really good. That will definitely be one of the things I practice. If you were one of the people that watched me doing runs a month or two ago, you will know just how much pain that level caused me. So getting that first try is really good. Moving on, though, we need 8,000 points here. And hey, Dopa, how's it going? Yeah, here we need 8,000 points. So we're going to be trying our best to grab all of the gems we can, even the small ones that are only worth 10. Because later on, we are going to need to make sure we get everything possible. So I'm actually going to skip that. Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to grab it now. Because we are pretty low on fuel. So the fuel does give us bonus points at the end. Up to 1,000 based on the percentage of fuel we have left. So we do still want to be saving some for later. Yeah, basically this stage is kind of like an escape sequence. You get to the bottom, you grab all the chests, and then you get out with the chests that you've collected. Very good there. Pretty nice cycle. Okay. So moving on, again, we are going to be a little safe here. We're just going to grab basically every gem. And we're also going to grab the extra tank of fuel. There's another one here. So all these big gems are worth 100. Really, really good to get these as backups. So I'm just going to grab them all, just to be safe, because I have already grabbed a tank that I normally save for later. And these tentacles can hit us based on where the tentacles first appear. So now they are fixed for this cycle. So we do need to be aware of them as soon as they appear each time. There we go. That was a little bit of a difficult cycle there that we were on. So here, they are going to reappear, and it is going to get a little bit harder. Here we go. We're just going to stay out of the way of the eel. And we just need to make sure we get through here. Don't get hit to the sharks, because they will be very slow to get hit to. It will take us a really long time to get our chest back. They are hungry. So true. And yeah, that's a pretty good stage right there. 8,000 very comfortably. Lots of safety you can go for there. And then moving on to Star Shuttle. There's a lot of cutscenes in this one. A lot of cutscenes. So it's a great time for donations. Donations or messages in a speedrun marathon. Yeah, we are currently just doing a speedrun marathon submission for Wii Play Motion. It's a pretty good run in general, actually. We're actually on PB pace at the moment, which is very surprising. Yeah, basically, I will explain the controls in the downtime, because there will be a lot of downtime. So, very good start, 8.9, sub 9 on the first one. I was hungry. True. So, basically, this game feels really janky at the start, but once you get used to it, it is completely predetermined. And that is why I have this fairly late. Compared to games like Wii Play, where tanks and Find Me are the biggest sort of time saves, they are partially RNG. Whereas here, you are... It's literally just how good are you at the game and the controls. So, essentially, you are pressing down to accelerate and up to decelerate, or to sort of go backwards, based on where you are, where you're positioned with your with the ship. And then there's also the left buttons, the R, the right as well, and the A and B to go up and down. But really, what you need for a lot of the stages is just to use the thrust button by pressing down. Because what we can do is, if we just slightly angle ourselves differently, I'm just pressing down here, because you can only use one control at once in this game. I'm just pressing down, and then I'm pressing up just to slow down a little bit at the end, because if you hit the dock at 30 ms or more, or any obstacle for that matter, at 30 ms or more, you are going to have a major crash. So there are two things that I like to call in this game: major crashes and minor crashes. So if you crash into something, depending on your speed, that is whether you have a major or minor crash. If it's major, that is a game over, you have to restart. If it's minor, you can have as many minor crashes as you like. It just means that you're going to lose all your speed and you have to regain all that speed again. That is literally all that means. But again, there's not really any games in here, because there's a level select as well. There's not really anything in Star Shuttle that would kill the run. It's really just a few difficult levels at the end that, again, we would not normally see in any of the shorter runs like Gold Medals. Gold Medals, you only do 25 stages. Pose $1 million. Can we get a goal on 3 in the chat? So true. Yes, we can. We can get a goal on 3 in the chat. I am also going to try and shout out Professor for that raid at this point. I know it was 45 minutes ago, almost, but yeah, go follow Professor. So we can get to as much speed as we like, as long as we get to below 30 when we actually get to the dock. So there are kind of small references I go for on each one, just to make sure we are following that. Nice, good stage. Very good stage. There's a shout out. Better late than never. So we're just going to get to 60. We're going to slow a little bit. Nice, very good. So some of these as well do have multiple dots, and we will also see the coloured dots later on as well, and also smaller dots. So the ones with smaller dots are actually a lot harder than the ones where there's like 3 or 4 coloured dots. Oops, that's alright. Moving on to this one, there we go. A little bit of a miss menu, that's alright. We're going to lose time here as well, because this takes ages to load from there. So again, just holding a tiny bit of a different angle just to make sure we're going to go down here. Do need to be careful to go right through the middle here, because any obstacles in this game have a very deceivingly large hitbox. The hitboxes on these are massive for no good reason. So we do need to be careful of basically everything we can crash into. But there's a lot of technical stuff going on in Star Shuttle that doesn't look like it on the surface. But in terms of going fast here, it is pretty difficult. So here's our first one with 3 dots. All of them are the same colour though, so we can dock them anywhere we like. Later on, we are going to see some where there's like 3 or 4 colours, and they're all tiny, and it's very hard to dock them. Mainly stage 30. That's the biggest run killer in here. But I do still prefer to play this fairly late into the run, just because of how long it is. It's very long, like, it's 20 minutes just to see those hard stages later on. So it's just better to play this at this stage in terms of a PB attempt. We do still have a few other games to see, though. We still have Windrunner coming up. Windrunner's a fantastic game. I love Windrunner. It's really, really good once you get used to the controls. That's basically the entirety of Wii Play Motion. It's good once you get used to the controls. That's how it works. So we're actually going to go up here, just to make sure we avoid this this obstacle. And we're going to speed up a little bit more. Just do a little bit of upwards movement, just to make sure we can sort of negate some of that downwards movement there. Yeah, the concept is cool, but yeah, it's difficult. I agree. A lot of this game is very difficult. But once you get used to the motions and things, and the fact that it's always going to be off-center at some point, then the game is very good in general. I do still have my favourites in here. I do prefer Teeter Targets. Teeter Targets is absolutely my favourite game, which is good because you're going to spend a lot of time in Teeter Targets in PB attempts. We did get very lucky in this run, actually. One of my best Teeter Targets ever. So we're going to get up to 70 here. We are going to slow down. We do need to make sure that we are pointing at the screen at the end of this storm, just to make sure we don't have a major crash. That is another way you could get a major crash. But as long as you're pointing at the screen there, that will make sure that you are clearing. I'm not entirely sure what the requirement of that is, really. It's just to kind of make sure you're stabilizing your ship. But really, there's no speed requirement during a storm, as long as you're still pointing at the screen. So technically, you can do any motion. As long as you're still pointing at the screen using the sensor bar, then you will be fine through the storm. I guess if you really wanted to, you could get someone else to, like, move the sensor bar around the room or something. I don't know. But really, it's not too strenuous to just play that how it's intended. So here we're starting to see a few more obstacles popping up. And the music does change slightly as well. We will start to see more of those storms, more obstacles, more cycles we need to be paying attention to. This game does get a little bit harder as we go. So here we still have these red and blue big dots. So even if we're really close to the dock, where it should be hard to dock the pieces, it is still absolutely fine to come through here and just do the stage as normal. And even back it up right on top of the dock if you need to. There you go. Very nice stage there. So you can pass through the middle, but the issue with the middle, through those little pods where there's a hole on either side, the issue with those is that it's very easy to crash on them. So I will basically always, when I'm passing through those, decelerate down to about 25. Because you can also get, like, you could technically go down to like 28, 29. But if you go too close to 29 or 30, then what's going to happen is that even a tiny movement away from a perfectly centered ship, that is going to put you at a slightly higher or lower speed. And you do not want to be having that when you're dealing with these. So I'm just going to decelerate here. And as you can see, yeah, we're slightly off center, so we are changing our speed very slightly as we're passing through here. So just going to stick to 28.9, comfortably getting through. So I did decide to risk it on that last one because it's literally a dead straight line, so you can really easily back it up and decelerate if you need to. But because I was already on that path, that is me confident enough to risk it there. So we're starting to see these small dots now, and these levels are the ones that are harder to dock. If we get up to the dock and the pieces don't all flash, so if you get a tiny like flash of white, then that means you've sort of docked the piece. But if that flash doesn't happen, then what we're going to have is we are going to need to back up quite a lot on these stages to make sure we can get them. So being very precise there, making sure we're dead on to get that dock. And that's what I'm saying, when we have the smaller ones that are multiple colors, that is where we're going to start to face problems. The good thing is the game does recognise that, because every stage has a time limit of 5 minutes, which hopefully we won't get anywhere near. But even so, the estimate does sort of accommodate a few minutes of losses on stages like these, which hopefully shouldn't happen. But we will see later on why this can get a little difficult to be consistent. That was very close. We were under 30 just barely by the time we got there. Very important. I'm just going to slow a little bit here, under 30, just to make sure we can align. Really good. Really, really nice dock there. Had I gone a little bit faster, I would have needed to factor that into how fast I'm getting towards the dock, especially because we were going at an angle rather than a straight line. And that's how the game gets a little bit more challenging now. You're not just going in a straight line towards the dock in terms of the speed run here. We want to be going up to it as fast as we can. So you are going to be approaching it at angles sometimes. All the gears in 21 to 30. Yeah, 21 to 30, they are pretty difficult. There are a couple of hard stages in there especially. But for the most part, we will still be able to get through with not too many problems. Hopefully. There we go, really nice. 7-year-olds to pick up and understand. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing. This is kind of like, this is the last one. It's kind of like they did it on purpose. Like this, they knew that this and tanks in the original Wii Play were the hardest ones. And also like the most fleshed out. So they kind of thought, let's just put this at the end. Because the people that are not going to see this are hopefully going to be the ones that are not going to understand it. Yeah, welcome back from dinner, cute fangies. Yeah, this, similarly to Tanks, was one of the games that I struggled with the most. In fact, I don't think I got much of this completed at all as a kid. Thanks everyone for the follows, by the way. We do have anonymous follows here, so you don't have to unlock if you don't want to. But absolutely feel free if you do. Yeah, there's a lot of Wii series that is really easy for casuals to sort of pick up. And then there's this, which is just unnecessarily complicated in terms of the controls. And that is really what Wii Play Motion is a lot of the time. It's just, oh, these controls are really awkward and annoying. That's the main difficulty. And couple that with the fact that you're using a Wii remote for precise controls, you know. It's not a good recipe. So again, they're not dead straight, so we were ending up accelerating a lot more than I was expecting. Just making sure we're a little bit lower. Just play safe here. Steady ourselves onto the dock, and there we go. That is another clear. Moving on, we're almost through the first 20 stages, so we're going to be moving on to pieces that we have to grab ourselves. On some of these later on, the last 10 stages, we are not going to start off with the piece on the dock. And the issue with that is that the game goes from being more deterministic to being very hard to predict. Because once you're having to grab the piece yourself, it is pretty difficult to tell exactly where you're going to be each time with the pieces there. So here we do have the specific cycle I know I can make, so I'm going to go this way. And I'm just going to play safe because I know one of the rocks can massively catch you off guard here, that top one. Whoa, we actually did hit it as well. And we hit the storm. That's unfortunate. I thought I was pointing at the screen the whole time. That's a shame. So, yeah, it turns out right at the end we ended up getting hit. That's alright. No big deal. So that ends up being a major crash. I was focused on that rock there. I was trying to steady myself, but yeah, turns out we were still dealing with the storm. This is one of the storms that for some reason takes a really long time to pass through. I'm not sure why. It just is. And again, really, really unforgiving. Once again, hitting that that obstacle at the top there. Even though I was massively out from that, we were still getting hit there. I'm not sure why. But yeah, in terms of the estimate, no big deal. We're literally losing 30 seconds. It's not too bad. That is really the biggest mistake of the run so far, which is really good. First big mistake being in Star Shuttle 19. That's really nice. So this is the last one of the of the ones where we have the piece already on the ship. So you do see these rainbow cubes as well. We're actually going to be avoiding those because basically they reposition the piece on the dock to supposedly make it better. Well, I mean, it's not clear whether it's supposed to make it better or not because in my opinion it makes it worse. Because a lot of the time it will put the piece on your back, which makes it harder for you to go fast and actually like clear the stages in a consistent way. Really nice movement down there. It makes it really hard to clear these consistently because you're having to do this with your Wii remote, and just doing that motion, even if you're doing it two-handed, it's really slow. And even if you do it fast, the game isn't going to be able to keep up and you're just going to get desynced. So it's a lesser of two evils, really. So you're kind of having to just go with whatever the game supplies you with at first. But here, we are starting to see these stages where you do not have the piece. So we're starting off easy. First one's just a single dot, and it's dead straight into the piece, just to tell you exactly what to do. Now, there was a little bit of a uneven grab, so we're going to see that later on. I kind of have specific setups for each piece, what angle exactly I want to be grabbing each piece at to make it the most likely for us to get the clear. But if we are struggling on a stage, it might even be the case that after sort of a minute 30, if we're taking that long, I take a restart. You might think, well, that's slow, because if you're on the dock, you might as well just see it out, right? But a lot of the time on the dock, it will be basically impossible, based on your initial grab, to actually clear the stage, especially if you don't get it first try. Because we've not seen it so far, because I've just been that good. We haven't actually seen it yet, but basically, there can be the case where if you hit the dock, like the prongs on each coloured dot here, they actually kind of stretch out. They stretch out really far. And for them to unstretch, you have to go really far back. So it's really important to sort of bear that in mind when you come onto these late stages. Guess what the thing we're building is? Oh, that's true, yes. So, this game kind of has lore as well. So, you're kind of trying to figure out what we're building as we come through. And I guess that makes the cutscenes have a little bit of purpose, right? So that's something. Moving on to stage 23. This is another one with 2 dots. So I'm just going to grab this from the side this time. So you have to grab on the white dot, and this is actually the only obstacle in the entire game, I guess because it's not technically an obstacle, where if you crash at higher than 30 ms, sorry, it will actually not give you a major crash. And that is probably just because it's not an obstacle. It's probably classified differently in the game. Oh, there we go. So that is an unfortunate crash, because not only did we hit the dock, we also ended up getting launched. So, depending on if your ship hits the dot, where exactly it hits the dot, it might just send you straight back. It might just, if you hit the dock itself, the grey part of the dock, the main bulk of it, that's not too bad of a crash, because you're just going to go backwards with the momentum you already had. But if you hit the dot with the ship, which is very surprisingly easy to do, it basically, it feels like it happens every time. But it doesn't. It only happens occasionally. But when that happens, it's really difficult to sort of back it up, figure out your bearings, get back to where you need to be. And it can be pretty slow. So they're just slowing down because we can only use one control at once. We do want to be safe, doing the slow and then doing the upwards movement. Even after watching so many runs of it, I'm still unsure. That's so funny. There's the moustache. Or the smiley face. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, stage 25. We start to get really difficult ones here. 3 dots, all different colours, all small. We still have 5 stages after this. So here we are going to pass through the middle. Just make sure we can try and get a good grab here. You can end up hitting the bulk of the piece as well, and if you do that, you are going to get a dodgy collision, which is same as I was just talking about with the dock. Really hard to fix. Okay, that's fine. I say it happens occasionally. It's happened both the times we have been doing these stages here. That's unfortunate, but that is, again, that's hitting the main part of the dock, so it's no big deal. Nice, there we go. So, again, even on that clear there, the blue prong was starting to peek out a little bit more. And although we started off with it lighting up, they all have to light up at the same time for a dock. So, it's really, really difficult to get the hang of these stages here. We are barely in the green. Building a massive weapon. Yeah, we now have 5 stages remaining, and we are introducing another new thing in these vortexes. So it's going to have this little background effect of sucking things in. Those things don't really affect us, because they only really apply 2D wise. But we do need to get really far away from the vortexes, because they will suck us in. And they also do mess with our acceleration as well, so we need to watch out for that as we come through. Just turn upside down and get that clear. So again, this is another one that's fairly easy, even though it's a late stage, because it's introducing the vortexes to you. See, this game can be nice when it wants to be. Even if it is a little bit difficult to get used to. Don't you love when there's a black hole interrupting your work? Exactly. Okay, so this is a really sneaky piece. So that piece in the background just sort of goes out of the way, and then you see a UFO peeping out the corner. Because of course it's a UFO. What else would it be in Wii Play Motion that you're docking onto a station? So we're just going to go slow here. And nice grab. That is the reason why I slowed down to grab that piece there. Although it costs a couple of seconds to do that, this is better because getting that piece, grabbing it at a specific angle, that is what you need to get a consistent, get that piece consistently onto the dock there. Because if you grab it head on or at a different angle that I'm not used to, it is going to be harder. It's not impossible, but it is going to be harder. Yeah, there is a UFO in the Ghost game. Basically, it is a random obstacle in the background. And honestly, if I ever did a UFO % run where you just see the UFO in each game as fast as you can, I would honestly start with, like, Spooky Search as one of the first games. Because I genuinely don't understand how you see it. And it's also only on stage 3. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That's fine. I was kind of expecting that. So let's line up here. So this is where another case of where we've sort of grabbed it at a slightly different angle. I'm going to reposition myself near the bottom. There you go. So because I was at the top, it was a bit harder for the pieces to reach far enough. When I was at the bottom, that was enough of an adjustment to correct it to get through that stage. Very good. So we are moving on to some very difficult ones here now. 3 dots, and then the last one's going to have 4 dots. And then we're done with Star Shuttle. And then we'll be moving on to Windrunner. So I'm going to grab this from the bottom right. Little bit of a slightly different angle than I normally grab. So we're just going to play safe there, otherwise it's very easy to basically always hit the cogs there. So I just decided to not even risk it. We are going to slow here, though. Going to slow very much. I'm very surprised that worked, because we were very quickly approaching that. I decided to go so low as to 15, just to make sure we could clear that. That might even be a gold, because I don't think I've ever done that fast. That was very rapidly approaching a major crash. I'm very unsurprised that was a gold. That was very clean. Something that will basically never be clean, though, is stage 30, and here it comes. So we have 2 seconds to save here. This is why I'm saying I probably won't PB. So here we go. We're going to try and grab this from the top left. There we go. Okay, good start. So we're pretty much going to crash with this cog. That's fine. We're going to get out of the way. Make sure we don't hit the top, because if you go out of bounds for too long, it will also end up with technically a major crash. It's not really a crash. It's more of just a game over. And you have to restart that level there. But it also does slow you down, so you don't really want to be having to deal with that. I'm going to slow a lot here, just to try and steady myself. It's not going to be enough because we are really, really close, and that's not going to be good enough for this stage. So we're going to just go as close to the center as we can. We are going to just rotate with the pieces. And as you can see, even then, that yellow is still not in the right place. This is why this one is just that difficult. There we go. Third try. Really, really good stage there. And even to this day, I've not had a completely perfect stage 30. I've had some first tries, but they have been with me slowing down a little bit in the rest of the stage. But that is a really fast clear. It was still sub-minute. We have 2 games coming up. We have Jump Park and Windrunner, and that is going to close out our run. So Jump Park, I have like no time to save. So this is probably going to be RIP PB, because I had what was to my knowledge at the time a IL world record in the longest stage in here, stage 4. Turns out it's only 2nd place, but to get that in a run this late in was phenomenal, and that was the reason why this ended up being world record at the time by so much. Until it got bopped by 2 minutes, an hour and a half after, because of course it did. I do plan on beating it at some point. But yeah, basically this game, you angle your Wii remote to... oh, what is going on the magnet there? That is funny. I've never seen that before. So, basically, you are jumping through the stage and sort of changing the orientation of the Wii remote to jump into certain directions. Now, the way the jumps work themselves is hard to get used to. So I'm going to try and show you here on this stage how exactly I'm doing it. And the camera is actually mirrored, so it might look a little weird. But basically, we're pressing A at the beginning. You get that little fast acceleration. We're going to break out of the swing there as well because it's slightly faster. Otherwise, you end up not grabbing that big one. And we're going to get up to 20. Fantastic. Unfortunately, that is going to be a little slow here. We are able to recover it slightly, but that's okay. So each stage is separated from each other, so the gems despawn from the from one stage to the next. However, you can keep power-ups. So if we do this perfectly, there we go. Fantastic. We still have some of the magnet remaining for this next stage. We're going to move on. We're going to grab this gold power-up, which is going to increase our jump speed and, most importantly, double the points that we get for each of these. And we can actually jump off to the side here, get into the ring, and that is the stage completed. So later on, we're going to try and combine the magnet with the gold, and we can get some really, really fast, impressive clears. So we now have 2 golds we're going up against, so this will be very painful. So again, I'm going to try and show you what I'm doing, because it's not too difficult for me to do that in this game. I'm going to try and go off to the right-hand side. That is the optimal path in terms of the IL, so that's what we're going to do here. And that's the best thing. You can just go for IL strats here with no punishment, really. And you can just back it up whenever you need to. So I'm pressing A, and then that launches us in one direction, and then we decide to then go in the other direction. And that's really the optimal way of playing this. So we're going to grab this whistle power-up. It's going to spawn in extra Miis to help us out, grabbing these big gems. Hopefully it's going to grab that top one as well. It's not quite getting it. That's alright. Did grab one of them there, though. And we're going to try our best to get to this gold. Not quite keeping it. So that that little test tube, that is actually going to make us small. So we do not want to be grabbing that. And then instantly clearing, because the game is giving us enough gems to have 100. Bearing that in mind. So the gold giving us double is completely busted. Because then you need less than half of the gems to clear that stage. So yeah, really, really nice there. Only 0.3 on gold. That's really, really good. And then this one is what I was saying. Only not IL world record by 0.3 seconds. So I'm really not expecting too much here. So here we're actually not going to be doing the fast jumps some of the time. We're just going to let the game go up to each part as we come through. And we're just going to grab 4 gems here. We're going to go off to the right-hand side, grab these 2 gems. We're going to grab that gold one. And then we're going to come down here, grab that, and then we're going to see what we can do. Grab the magnet as we come up here. And hopefully we can get through here. Grab some more while the gold is still active. There's still another gold to grab in here. While we're on there, grab that that whistle as well. And we actually got so many gems there, we'll just lag. 38.9, that is a fantastic clear. Not quite as good as the gold that I got, but that is still probably my second best ever jump park there. Definitely takes a lot of practice to get that gold split consistently. And finally, to cap off the run, we have Windrunner. So Windrunner, really, really fun game here. This is a 3-stage game again, so we are going to have a specific platinum medal to skip the gold medal requirement on stage 3. But the first one, again, is basically just a time trial. We are just going to be racing to the end. But basically, we are opening our umbrella to accelerate with the wind. And we're grabbing gems on this massive track. And if we get to the end fast, we will also get a bonus of gems as well. So there is an incentive to go fast here as well, even in terms of score runs. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to grab a few of these gems. At this point, we can pretty much just speed to the end, avoiding that oil slick, because those are going to be slow. While we're on these jumps as well, we want to be following the orange sparks, because that is how you go fast in Windrunner. If you're only on white sparks, it is not going to be fast. And then before we even land, we're going to finish the stage, 68 bonus. That is going to give us well over 100 points. So we are going to get that first bronze medal. So next one's 150. And then on stage 3, we need 150 for gold or 200 for platinum. 250 would be very hard. Yeah, 200 for platinum. But there are some backup strats because there are lots of gems on the final one. And also lots of rings. So we didn't actually see any there. But I'm going to try and grab a few rings just to show you what we need to do here. So lots of gems right at the beginning. Lots of single gems. We can get a really nice head start just by doing that. Doing a jump and getting on the inside of a ring will get you all 10 of them. They will zone in on you. However, if you hit the outside of a ring, you will still get any of the gems that you hit as normal, but it will break the ring. So for example, if you fall off the stage and you're able to give it another go at hitting one of the rings, which is a backup strat later on stage 3, it is still, it's actually not going to be possible because you've broken the ring. So we're going to try and get up to there, not quite happening, so you need to get a good jump off those ramps to actually grab those rings. We should still be fine coming through. Oh, unfortunate, only grabbing a few rings there. This is a really difficult ring to grab. I'm just going to give up on that one. It's not worth going for. And we're going to try our best to get a big jump there. We're going to get that ring. Fantastic. And we should be safe enough to close out this one. So there is a top path there. It's very hard to get onto the top path. You can have a much easier ride if you get onto the top path on stage 3. You don't need it, but it is really, really useful to get onto there to get our 200-point requirement. And I guess in a way, because you need 150 again for gold on the next one, but 200 for platinum, gold is actually kind of easier on stage 3 than stage 2, in a way. But nevertheless, we're going to start off here with a really cool 14 gems, or as many of them as we can grab fast enough. And then right here, we don't even need to jump. We can literally just go right into the ring. Not quite getting it. That's unfortunate. And again, missing another one. We're going to need to go for a couple of backups to make up for it. Starting off with basically grabbing all the gems on this path. Here we go. Grabbing those ones as well. So these single gems, they're only ones, but they do really stack up over time if you're grabbing a lot of them. So we're going to make sure we're down on this low path. Going to actually let go of the umbrella to make sure we can grab that low ring as well, because it's really hard to just do an angle low enough to get it. And we're going to get 1, 2 out of the 3 rings. That is absolutely fine. We don't need all 3. And we're again going to miss that one. That's absolutely fine. There are still some gems to get coming through here. So we're not going to take the top path. Hopefully we can grab this final ring, making sure we get this. There we go. And that is a fantastic clear. We didn't even need it to get through there. And time is going to be coming up when the platinum medal appears once again in just a few seconds time. And that is time. And that's a gold to end on as well. Fantastic. 127.18, which is an incredible no reset. I was not expecting to get anywhere near PB today. That's amazing. Even a Niv with the Yippee. So just to verify, because there's no medal banner in this game, unlike Wii Play. We did get all the platinum medals there. So that is Wii Play Motion. I like this run. It's pretty cool. It's a really, really nice game. It differs from Wii Play in that all of the games matter. You don't just need sort of, oh, you need a good billiards, you need a good tanks, you need a good find me. Right, that's it. You're going to get like a really good time now because you've had a really good all three of those games. All the rest of them are just get platinum, don't fail, you're not going to lose any time. Here, every game matters. There are some that matter more than others, sort of games like Teeter Targets and Star Shuttle, which are really long, really variable, really difficult stages in some of them as well. But all of the games matter. So you're always on edge in this run to try and PB, and I think it's really cool, aside from sort of the 40 seconds potential time-saving Veggie Garden, which, by the way, we would have got a huge PB had we got the amazing luck in Veggie Garden. I've only ever had it once, but yeah, I mean, that just goes to show. We literally got Skip Skimmer first try as well here. Booting up the game first time in a month, we got it first try. That is the power of having a really nice setup on Skip Skimmer. So my estimate for this is still 1 hour 35 minutes. That does give us enough leeway to sort of play safe on things like Teeter Targets, on things like Star Shuttle, some of those later stages. But really, there shouldn't be anything that's costing us the platinum medal in here. So it's a really, really nice run, and I think it deserves a little bit of spotlight because this is a really, really rare game to see people running. But it's still really optimized. Platinum medals is a really optimized run, despite there not being many runs on there. So yeah, hopefully this gets into an event sometime. And thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks to the GGs, Nina, Theon, Arrol, appreciate it. Yeah, that is the run. We are going to do something else to end on, and it is for me to just test out something in Wii Play. We're going to do a run called Billiards times 10, and what this is, we're going to end the stream after this, by the way. What this is it's literally just doing billiards 10 times in a row. Yes, Theon, we are doing... You say ain't no way to this, you find out what I've got planned. I've already agreed that I'm going to do a billiards times 100 with Cindy at some point. I don't know if she's still up for that. If you're listening, I am still up for it. If you want to do it, I will do it. I have a even more ridiculous idea that will hopefully come to fruition at some point. But yeah, so that is the run. Let's close that off and let's open up Wii Play Billiards times 100. So the good thing with this is, unlike me doing consistency, doing billiards platinum times 100, we're literally just beating billiards 10 times here. And we're actually playing on 16:9 Wii Play. This is cursed. Good thing is, billiards, it doesn't make a difference, so it doesn't matter. I am going to turn off my sound effects though, because they're annoying. Here we go. So we're going to do this based on NG plus timing. So the moment we see the score screen, we can restart. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm hoping I can clear this in about 11 minutes. Good start. So this is literally just completing. So we don't necessarily need a good break. It would be nice to get one. So here I'm actually just going to go for the 5. And then we pretty much just want to be fouling all the time because we're just trying to complete the game as fast as we can. Oops. That is not going to be a foul. That's alright. Fouls are technically not optimal, and I can go for the 7 here. But fouls are not optimal, but also that took me 2 extra seconds to aim. So, you know, they basically are optimal. It's an actually moment, basically. That's what it is. Oh. That's fine. Well, that was lucky. Ah, that wasn't lucky. 123 for one. That's pretty slow. That's slower than I thought it was. I might be adjusting the thing that I've got in my head that I'm going to possibly do. Based on that. This is why we do testing rather than signing up to things that are going to be much longer. Okay. I could go for a plant, but I will not do that. Oh, that's alright. Oh, come on. Wow, this is terrible. Reset. I should reset now. I will not be resetting. I will not be resetting billiards times 10, considering this is a category that does not and probably will never exist. Billiards 10,000%. True. That is billiards times 100. Why are we getting 3 breaks every time? Can we do this on a normal day? Rather than while I'm messing about. That is just really silly. I mean, now we can get a plant. I guess that broke them up, but still. Okay, that was good. That was a good shot. That's what I yearn for in a bronze medals run. Come on. Hey Liam, how's it going? Oh my goodness, that's another 3 break. And I'm kind of in a run now, so it's going to be a bit difficult, and then I'm ending stream, but sure. Gold medal, let's go. See, that's what I'm talking about. 1 minute, 2 seconds. That's what we want. Okay, this is the authentic billiards times 10 experience. 1 break. We are continuing a 1 break. That's what we love to see. None of these 3 breaks. None of this 3 break nonsense. None of that. 1 break. Nice plant. Very good. .5 break, just watch. No! Wait, hold. Okay, never mind. Don't hold, because I can't plant them. Good exit. Okay, what I could do is, because this category will never exist anyway, I could change the exit timing to make this slightly faster. So as soon as you have pocketed all the balls and they've disappeared from both the the zoom in and the table itself, then you can quit. I'm thinking that might be a better way of doing the thing that I have in my head. Ugh. There is no shot. It almost went in. Genius move. Foul. Zero break. Well, why would I even continue? It might actually be better for me to restart on a zero break. Because we end up with this garbage. There we go. So practicing my backups on something that will never matter. Okay, I literally cannot foul off a single ball right now. And get it in. Not in a fast way anyway. Yo! That was sick. Ten shots. Ugh. Visceral reaction. 131. Okay, my original estimate for a billiards times 100 was probably accurate then. Maybe a little bit too generous. I don't know. Exclamation mark slots 3000. Please. No! None of them went in! What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, this is like the thing from the YouTube video. Okay, that is so real to see someone actually come in here and say that. Yo, Glob, how's it going? Yeah, that YouTube video. That is incredible. Incredible YouTube video. Yes, I agree. I hope you also agree it is incredible. Because it has done so much for the game lately. There's so many more people, like, seeing this game. And including yourself. I hope you enjoyed it, because Cindy cooked so hard with that video. But yes. You would not believe from this gameplay that I am one of the 4 people to ever hit a 7 break. But this is what normal billiards is like. Oh, come on. How did that not go in? Okay, 11 minutes was slightly off then. As an estimate for this. But my original estimate is way too high, which is good to know. So that will make the thing that I have planned for the Wii Play 18th anniversary much easier. Yes! Yes! Let's go. Didn't even foul. Wow, that's just goated. Okay, never mind. Not goated. Not goated. Oh, never mind. We are goated. Why am I pulling off this stuff in billiards times 10? This is so real. Alright, time will be on the final score screen. Or it's not even going to be yet, because this is going to not work. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, time save. 12:52. Sure. Okay, so 13 minutes for 10 of them. Interesting. Okay. With some bad gameplay, but that's to be expected. I'm not going to play perfectly every time. And also, we got fairly lucky breaks, so... yeah. Thanks to GG, Theon. Okay, I'm now doing some calculations. 118 per, yeah. Okay. Okay. The idea I had in my head is far too unrealistic. Okay, so I might as well say what the idea was going to be then. So basically, I was trying to think of an idea. I was trying to think of an idea of a target to put on no fish, right? As an extra thing to do, right? And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I said if we hit a certain goal, I'll do a billiards 602. That would take 13 hours. I was willing to do it if it was 10 or less. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it at 13 hours. I would do it if it was 10. I'm not gonna do... I'm not gonna do... No. No. I might do 500, but 602, no. I'd have to do it in more than one session. That was my idea. So, yes, thank you for listening. I am going to go hide in a corner. And now you have that heck unleashed on the world. There you go. Billiards 602 was not a sentence until today. That's all I'm saying. This has been bothering me all day. How long would a billiards 602 take? And all I had was reference of other people's billiards times 10 runs to go off of. So hey, it would be funny. It would be funny. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm not doing a billiards 602. That said, it would be half the time a normal 602 would take me. Way less than half. Anyway. But yeah, for people that don't know, that would have been a reference to the Mario 602, which is all four first 3D Mario games. 100%. and that is like 24 hours if you're good. But I am not good. So, yeah. Alright, anyway. I am going to go head off. And you know what we're going to go and do? I know exactly who we're going to go raid. Because it's her birthday. And assuming she's still live, we need to go raid her. So, yes, she is live. We are going to go raid Kyril 83. It is her birthday. Go post touchy fish for her birthday. I think that will be very cool. So go over there. Thanks everyone for watching. Friday's gonna be the next stream because we're not here Saturday. Because I am out. I'm busy. And I'm gonna make the most of that by spending the morning doing stuff for No Fish 2024 that I still haven't got ready. So, and on top of that, I still need to organise the Wii Series Marathon Relay. So that's something. So what we're gonna do is Friday, we're going to go live. We're going to do some Wii Play Tanks for world record. We've already got Wii Play Tanks 20 world record. We're now going for 50 and 100. And then maybe even grind 5 offline. And then we have the sweep. But I don't know, hold out much hope for that because 5 is just unbearable to grind. But that's going to be happening on Friday. We might do some Wii Sports Resort if things start going south. If I can't get any PBs. And I still have any time left. But Saturday we're not going to be here, but Monday is going to be our next long stream, and we're going to be doing tons of runs for marathon submission videos, and then we're going to be doing some Wii Play Tanks after that. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.